The sound echoed through the hallway, sharp, humiliating slap. It was followed by silence, thick and stunned. Everyone froze. Even the lockers seemed to tremble under the weight of what just happened. Claire didn't speak. She never did. But this time, her silence wasn't submission. It was warning. Asterisk. It all started months earlier, when Claire transferred to Ridgeway High in the middle of the school year. She arrived with a suitcase, eyes that always looked past people instead of into them, and a scar above her right eyebrow that she never talked about. She didn't try to make friends. She didn't smile. She sat in the back of every classroom, head down, notebook open, drawing symbols and diagrams that looked like maps or maybe memories. Asterisk. To the rest of the school, she was a ghost. Easy to ignore, easy to target. That's when Logan noticed her. Logan was the kind of boy who walked the hallways like he owned them. Tall, loud, captain of the wrestling team, and always surrounded by his pack of sycophants. He didn't like people he couldn't control, and Claire's indifference rattled something. In him, she wasn't scared of him. She wasn't anything to him, and that infuriated him more than hatred ever could. Asterisk. At first, it was little things. Pencils snapped when she wasn't looking. Her locker jammed with wet paper towels, whispers in the hallway as she passed. But Claire never flinched, never complained. That only made them escalate. Asterisk. One Monday morning, as the halls buzzed with sleepy footsteps and the smell of cafeteria cinnamon rolls, Logan cornered her. She was walking to chemistry, alone as always. No one expected the slap, not even his friends. It came out of nowhere, open palm, sharp and loud across her face. Asterisk. Her head turned slightly with the impact. Her dark hair fell over her eyes. Logan sneered, expecting her to cry or scream or at least react. But she didn't. Instead, she raised her head slowly, her eyes, usually distant and unreadable, locked onto his like iron claws. Asterisk. You shouldn't have done that, she said quietly. Asterisk. What are you gonna do, ghost girl? Draw me to death? Asterisk. Next moment happened so fast, most people didn't even see it, but they heard it. Asterisk. A sharp crack, followed by a scream that didn't sound like it belonged to a teenager, but something wild and wounded. Asterisk. Logan's arm hung at an unnatural angle, elbow twisted, eyes wide with shock and pain. He stumbled back, collapsing to the ground, clutching his arm and howling. Claire stood over him, breathing hard, fists clenched. Asterisk. Students backed away. No one knew what to do. Teachers hadn't arrived yet. Time felt frozen. Asterisk. When Ms. Henley rounded the corner and saw Logan writhing on the floor, she sprinted over. What happened? Everyone looked at Claire. She didn't run, didn't try to deny it. She just sat down on the floor, her back against the wall, eyes still locked on Logan's as he whimpered. I warned him, she said. Asterisk. Claire was suspended. Of course, there were meetings, interviews, a visit from the police, though the charges were dropped once everything came to light. Because something did come to light. A student named Marissa, who had always watched from the sidelines, quietly sent in a recording she had taken on her phone. It showed Logan slapping Claire. It showed her not retaliating until after he had threatened her again. It showed that Claire didn't attack, she defended, precisely, decisively, like someone trained. Asterisk. Whispers turned into curiosity. Curiosity turned into questions. That's when the truth started to unravel. Claire's father had been an army ranger before he died 2 years ago. He taught her self-defense, survival, discipline. She didn't use it to show off. She didn't talk about it. She carried it inside her like a steel thread braided through her silence. And the scar. A reminder. From the night her mother's boyfriend got drunk and came at them with a belt, Claire stood in front of her mother, eyes blazing, and fought him off until the neighbors called the cops. They'd moved ever since, city to city, school to school, trying to disappear, until Ridgeway. When Claire returned to school after her suspension, everything had changed. People moved aside for her in the hallways, not out of fear, but respect. Some tried to talk to her, some apologized, some just gave her space. Logan never came back. His arm had healed, but something in him was broken. Now his pride, maybe. His delusions of dominance. Claire didn't become popular. She didn't join clubs or post selfies or sit at the cool table in the cafeteria. But slowly, quietly, she began to live again. She started helping Coach Daniels with self-defense classes in the gym after school. She spoke to freshmen about setting boundaries and knowing your worth. She tutored kids who were too scared to ask for help. She even smiled, sometimes, but she never forgot what happened, and neither did anyone else. The message was clear. Even though Claire never said it out loud, being quiet doesn't mean being weak. Holding back doesn't mean you can't fight. Everyone has a story, and some scars aren't visible. You never know what someone's survived or what they're capable of till you push them too far. And sometimes the quietest ones carry the loudest strength, the kind that doesn't need words, the kind that speaks in action. And sometimes the kind that breaks bones.